This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Lowco sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett, joined as always by Wes Kerr, and coming in off the weekend. It's Monday. I was playing catch-up all day today. I really haven't had time to breathe or do much. I was busting out Lowco lights all day today. I had the technology gremlins, or they were afoot in the Lowco today. Jeremy Pope over at WHHI dealt with them as well. So it was a fight to the finish. Yeah, the big power outage got WHHI, and they were knocked offline. And so Jeremy was fighting to get them back on. We literally were getting the 5 o'clock news like out the door. Me and Jeremy together. I was getting him the sports, the Lowco lights. So it was a fight to the finish today. And then I had to go coach softball. The sleigh's looking good. I was scrambling because we played baseball all weekend down in Florida. We got humbled a little bit. Went down there looking for competition, found some. Got beat the first couple, got down in the third game and came back and lost 6-5. So we went down there a little shorthanded. We came back even more shorthanded with a broken finger to a key player. So we'll put the pieces back together and go fight again. But kids got better by seeing the competition.
You mentioned that tournament victory, but it's nice to be on the other side sometimes and recognize where you need to improve on, and just have that experience where you fall short in a few games and you have that sting, and it hurts at the time, but that's gonna get you in a sense that I'm ready to work it extra harder and make the little plays that I may have missed out on because you always say it's that next pitch, next next batter, next game mentality, and it's always a matter of improving. Even the best players know that. So,
especially in baseball. I mean, in baseball, it's you have to have a short memory. But the big thing for us was the tournament we won a couple weeks ago was 54-80, pitching from 54 80-foot bases, and this was only our second 60-90 tournament, which is we don't have to do that yet, but we're going to have to real soon, and we're not going to go back. So we want them to see it a few times in the fall and get accustomed to it. And they are. So they'll turn the page and keep going and hopefully get to be high school baseball players in a few years. But we got a great show lined up tonight. We will catch up on some headlines from the weekend. I know a couple things that went on. You'll probably know a couple others. And then we're going to talk to one of the guys who made some headlines this weekend. I mean, not massive headlines, but he continues to get work. Kacy Fields, our offensive player of the year last year in the Lowco from Beaufort High, now at South Carolina State, and he's getting the bulk of the carries. It's kind of a plurality right now, not really a majority, but he's getting a lot of work for a true freshman, and we'll have him on shortly to talk about his experience thus far and about the Bulldogs. So looking forward to catching up with him. He's always fun to talk with. Then we'll talk a little more about Week 5 high school football season. Had some great games out there. You saw Hilton Head Christian Academy make a statement against BA. I was down in Florida, but I was watching from afar as Beaufort built a big lead and then held on in a crazy fourth quarter against Bluffton that never really got in that much danger, but it was still it had the makings of like a viral comeback if they could get one more onside kick. We'll look at some highlights from that later. But that was fun. Whale Branch flexed. They're looking good. Hampton stumbled, but I think showed well in that game. I think they're the real deal still in 2A, and they only dropped one spot to 6 in 2A because 2A everybody lost. Like almost everybody in 2A at the top lost. And Whale Branch up to 4 in 1A, which is good to see. So. What caught your eye as far as headlines this weekend, Wes? I saw some cross-country results that we can talk about a little bit.
Take a look at the Low Country Invitational, which is actually a meet that I ran a couple times when I was in high school. So it's a beautiful area and a really challenging course. There's
out on Johns Island, right?
Yeah, it's really pretty out there, but it would definitely test you to go and run through those woods. You certainly have to be on your toes when you're going across that course. But this is a meet that is normally filled with some strong competition, and it was a solid showing from our Lowco squad. Bluffton's Erlon Baker in the top 10, a 6th overall to 16.04. He continues to churn out some really nice times. Shady Gilman from Hilton Head, 16.15. And Nate Rivers, Noah Wasserman finishing just 5 seconds ahead of Gavin Moore. So a lot of Lowco dominance there in that top 10. So excellent job there by these Lowco squads. Hilton Head in 6th, Bluffton in 7th in the team standings. So strong finishes for these. And some of these guys we've grown to know, and the depth coming up big, especially when you look at some of these guys on this Hilton Head team, some of these other squads as well. Bryce Broom with a very solid meet, a couple of others, sprinkled across. Drake Edmonds. So this Hilton Head team, you got some good depth there at the middle positions, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have JD Gilden leading the way. So that's not a bad group going into these next few weeks to get ready for the region and then the lower state and the state meet. So they should be right up there. Bluffton's off to a nice start. Erlon Baker continues to live on the boys' side. So some great work with some programs, especially Hilton Head. It looks like it's back on the come up after maybe a few down years to their standards. They were a dynastic just a few years ago, winning boys and girls championships left and right. Kind of fizzled out a little bit, but great to see them once again competing for these good finishes and some prestigious tournaments. So Bluffton on the girls' side leading the way in 8th place. Elise Hunt, Vanya Hale with some nice finishes there for the Bobcats. It wasn't I'm sure they could have hoped for a little better of a meet, but the depth certainly showed. You got Ella Craps and Emily Hunt, 7th graders, both finishing under 22 minutes, which is pretty solid. Yeah. You see those young of girls with that kind of time. So that's a good development there for Bluffton. And then May River, sophomore Abby Bolin with a nice finish for the Sharks. So you see a lot of.
How about the 8th grader, Elise Thompson from Bridges with a 20:51? Wow. That's really strong. Yeah, really strong.
Yeah.
She was the first Lowco girl across the line.
Yeah. How about that?
As far as I can tell. Yeah. Impressive really stuff. So. They've had some runners. Jesse Richardson was there. He's now at Whale Branch, and he ran a good time too. 16:34, 17th place for Whale Branch. So, and Zach Henderson from JP2 also cracking 16:57. Really, nice. Really good to see. Wow. So, good talent all the way around on cross country course, and obviously, you look at those Bluffton girls times. I actually wanted to ask you. So look, they've got 6 girls grouped within 28 seconds. Was that a training run? Like, did they run in a pack to try to help the younger girls, PR and find a new gear maybe?
In a meet like this where it's not as high stakes as some of the other ones could be.
That's what I wondered. I wondered if that was strategic.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at all these girls clumped together, you got to think something was up.
And I wonder if Elise and Evanlia were pacing Emily and Ella to PR big, because they did PR big. Yeah. They PR'd by like 35 or 40 seconds or something crazy. So I bet they were kind of pacing them and then just kind of kicked it at the end and pulled away. But that would make sense. And Dana House is a crafty coach in that sense. She's always about that kind of stuff, just like Wrightson was. I mean, good coaches, they know how to use their resources to make their team better. And if that means that your top girls just kind of go 90% and drag them along for a PR and a confidence boost, then that's the way you play it this week.
Improving the depth is so important in cross country, because the 4th and the 5th runners can make so much of a difference. So, it's kind of an interesting strategy, and I think it could be beneficial, especially to some of those younger girls. When you look at those top runners, Hale and Gershut certainly would have had more in the tank in a normal meet, but sometimes you're trying to help the team as a whole win, and good on them for taking that to heart and being that team player. Instead of going for those faster times, you're taking one for the team, and you're looking to elevate the group as a whole. So I think that says something to these leaders, these seniors, juniors, the upperclassmen, to be able to, it's something that maybe I would want to do if I chose to, because I want to
Yeah.
make sure to run those fast times. But at the same time, we're a team at the end of the day, and I want to better, the girls that come behind me. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a great idea, and when you execute well, it could certainly help the team as a whole going forward.
Yeah. Shout out to Taryn Hannah, Coach Hannah's daughter, with a 21:35, solid time. But anything else that caught your eye over the weekend? I know Sandtrack Soccer lost one finally to Georgia College and State, I think. Anything else big stand out over the weekend? It's pretty quiet. I'm sure there was some volleyball happening. Did I lose you, Wes? Did you freeze on me? Uh-oh. Looks like I may have lost Wes. Do I have Kacy? You over there, Kacy? Yeah, he's alive. Not sure what happened to Wes, but I'm going to shout out some sponsors, and then we're going to get Kacy Fields in here shortly. Welcome to live television, folks, or live programming. Our MVP sponsors here in 2023-24 thus far. You can join the roster by emailing me at LowcoSports.com. LowcoSports@gmail.com, excuse me. Our MVP sponsors so far: Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports, and we'll use them to close the deal when you find your place in the Lowco, your starter home, forever home, or investment property that you spend part of the year here using my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports from the Pierce Group of eXp Realty. And before we sign those papers at Mickelson's law firm, we're going to call on homegrown home inspections. My guy, Jan Lucas, and his team are the best home inspectors in the area. They are very client focused and look out for their clients to make sure they're making a good investment in this wonderful real estate market here in the Lowco. And then we've got Hospice Care, the Low Country, just a gem in our community. Not-for-profit hospice care and palliative care here in southern Beaufort County, with a wonderful caring staff offering just incredible hands-on care for folks at the end of life, as well as those that need palliative care because they have chronic illness or chronic pain and need in-home care. They can extend their quality of life and their life and make things more comfortable at the end of life at Hospice Care, the Low Country, because it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors, and Wes has lost this connection. He must have gotten caught up in all these technology gremlins that have been biting at us lately. I see he's trying to get back in, and let's see if we can get Wes back in here. There he is. The technology gremlins got you too. I told you, they're out there. They are menacing the Lowco right now. Hopefully they haven't made their way up to Orangeburg, because we're about to get Kacy Fields in here to talk a little bit about his experience thus far as a South Carolina State Bulldog. So Kacy, if you're ready, buddy, I'm going to get you in here real quick. What is going on, Kacy Fields? Man, you got some crazy lighting going on
Great
over
to
there.
see you.
What's happening, man? I can see a little bit better now. That's not bad. Do we have you? Can I hear you? Oh, I don't hear you. Is your mic on?
I think he's muted.
Make sure. Yeah. Here, let me see. Make sure you go into your settings and make sure that the right mic is selected. Welcome to live programming, folks. But while we're waiting for Kacy to get situated there, we can see his face, which is great to see. It's been a minute. Let's talk a little bit about the season that he started having at South Carolina State West. And last week, I'm trying to pull up the stats. I think he had like 10 carries, 44 yards, I want to say. Kacy, check out your mic settings, bro. Talk to me. No, not yet. You go to settings at the bottom and click on that, and then go to audio. Should be able to select the mic. Working through it in real time. But no, Wes, did you catch any of the SC State game on Saturday?
I was
Probably not.
able to, check out some of the previous action so far for Kacy Fields. I saw some of Jackson State on opening day for them, and I was impressed with what I saw. I'm not getting any stats from the Citadel game. It doesn't show me any stats for that game, so
Yeah, I just saw that myself.
I'm not sure what happened there. But I did know that he found the end zone against Georgia Tech. So doing it against
That's right.
a Power 5 D1 program, that's a pretty nice feather in your cap. 9 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. So great to see him find the end zone there. Had a pretty efficient game against Charlotte, 9 for 43. So, it's good to see him get some work and acclimate to the college level. Certainly, the game speeds up when you get to playing SC State, and that's something we can talk to him about in terms of that transition process. But this is a guy who just I remember his tweet before his senior season, just about talking about how underrated he is and watch what I'm going to do, and he proved it out on there on the field and had an absolutely incredible senior year all the way to that state championship. And I expect the same kind of mentality. It's not going to come easy at first. He's going to have to transition to this new level of football, but I expect him to be an impact maker as his career goes on over there with the Bulldogs. So just as a freshman, great to see him get that amount of work, getting some carries, and I expect that to grow as his career goes on there. But you got Rakeem White over there as well.
Yeah.
Ian Shark from Colleton County. So we got a ton
Yeah.
of work.
Jalen Linder. Yeah, there's a lot of guys there, and Casey's gonna hop on his phone in just a minute. Having a hard time getting the microphone situation work it out with the computer, but he'll be on here shortly on the phone, and we'll get him in here. But yeah, I was trying to find the stats. I saw him on the ESPN app, and now I can't find him on the SC State website. SID, you gotta step it up, man. Come on. It's Monday. We got to get the stats up. We got them on the Citadel website. South Carolina State came out on top 31-10, by the way. Nice game for Kacy, who had 10 carries, team high 10 carries for 44 yards, averaging 4.4. Next best was Josh Shaw, had 9 carries for 34. Now, Corey Fields had more yards, but fewer carries. But we've got Kacy now, I think, on his phone. What's up, man? There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
There we go. We got you. Technology gremlins are getting us all today, man. It's been a thing. Sorry, I just muted you. What's going on, man? How are things in Orangeburg?
Everything's good in Orangeburg, like in the college life so far.
Great to hear that, Kacy. And you just led your team in carries, as we were just talking about this past week against the Citadel. Take me through these first few games and how you've grown to become right out of the gate a key contributor in the Citadel in the SC State run game.
The first 3 games, we took 3 losses back to back, but you can't just keep reminiscing on those losses. You got to keep continuing to grow as the season continues. But I came in here during the summer in late June, and ever since then I've just been working and just trying to get up there to the #1 spot.
Well, and you have essentially become, it's kind of a running back by committee situation, but you kind of become sort of a workhorse. Just got 3 carries in the opener against Jackson State, but then 9 carries the next 2 games, scored that first touchdown against Georgia Tech, and then had 10 carries this week. So tell me a little bit about getting in the end zone at Georgia Tech. That had to feel pretty special. I mean, that's a dream come true, playing at a big time place like that and finding the end zone as a freshman.
Yeah, it was a good moment. I don't know if you guys seen the celebration or not, but the celebration, that was planned out since before I even college. It was like, so this gonna be my celebration once I scored my first touchdown.
We gotta see the celly.
It was a good it was a good touchdown in the moment. But now, just got to keep going on and just continue to score more touchdowns as we go.
Well, once you get that feeling for the first time, you want to experience that many more times here at SC State. Kacy Fields, former state champion for the Beaufort Eagles, now college level with the Bulldogs. And, it's really special to see you over there. Of course, you're representing the Lowco, and you're not alone. You're doing it with a couple of other Lowco stars, including Bluffton's Rakeem White, Ian Shark over from Colleton County. So just to talk about how cool it is to have some other low country players with you alongside you at that level.
It's good. I came in and didn't really know nobody, so they kind of broke me out of my shell. And then we also got Jayon Allen from May River.
Yep.
Yeah, he's here too. And me and Jayon are the only two from Beaufort actually. So yeah.
Right on. I was trying to pull up the video of the celly, but I haven't gotten there yet. But no, just reflect a little bit on the past year, because I mean I don't know if people really have thought back this far, but a year ago today, like, you were just becoming a running back.
Right.
Again, I mean, you had been a running back before, but you hadn't been playing running back, and we were just now, like, you were starting to break out. You were right about now is when you had a couple of really big monstrous games. In fact, they just played Bluffton, so that was like the big breakout night, right, where it was like 250 something or 240 something. So yeah, 340. That's what it was. So just, I mean, what a whirlwind! You went from thinking you're trying to get recruited as a college receiver to you're the basically top of the depth chart running back at South Carolina State now in 1 year's time. So reflect a little bit on just, how much you've been able to kind of let that sink in, how much of a whirlwind that was, and where you are now.
It's crazy because when I came into high school, I played safety first, and then I got moved to receiver, and I thought I was going to get recruited as a receiver throughout, like, from my sophomore year to my senior year. And then my senior year during the summer, I had a hamstring injury, which prevented me to playing Cane Bay game, but that game got canceled due to the weather. And then the next couple games I played receiver, and Coach Lybrand came to me after the Goose Creek game and was like, we're going to need you to play running back. So after that, I just took the running back role and I just ran with it. We played May River the week that he told me that I was going to start at running back. And then I just took the role and just ran with it.
And you did, certainly. I love how you said that. I mean, ran with that literally and figuratively. But I just looked back on that tweet that you sent right before the season started. Watch how good I'm going to be this year, and certainly you proved it out there on the field. What clicked for you at that new position, and certainly that just the pure athleticism, the raw talent was a big factor. But how good did that feel to have that big breakout game on the against Beaufort or at Beaufort against Bluffton, and just reflect on that game and how that pushed you to realize that you can be really good at this new position.
That game right there, that was the game that made me like. I wanted to stand out. I wanted to make a name for myself in that game. So it was I didn't really wasn't no option. It was just go out there and play and know what you do what you do, and know what you know. And I just went out there and I did what I had to do. Came for 341 on 30 carries.
I was at Creek that night. I think it was Creek Whale Branch that night, because I was at Creek and people just started whispering about how many yards you had. And like, I'm looking at Twitter and Wes is texting me and people just started talking about, hey, how many yards did Kacy Fields have? And I'm like, 341. And they're like, whoa. It was like a viral moment in real life. It was wild. How has the adjustment been to the college game? You obviously you talk about the speed of the game, the physicality, the strength. I'm sure it's been everything that was advertised to you, but how do you feel like you've been able to navigate that curve?
I feel like I adjusted good. We had fall camp, and fall camp really made me adjust because the tempo just kept going fast. And the faster you go, the better it comes to you. So it wasn't really a hard adjustment, really. But I believe the physicality, though, is much more different because, like, everybody's faster. But as you continue to grow, you'll get used to it.
Yeah, certainly it's a big transition process for anyone going from the high school game to the college level. But you kind of know this kind of similar situation where you've been kind of looked at as the underdog, someone who's who's trying to make his way up in the depth chart or really prove himself. So you're kind of used to being in that role where you're trying to make a statement, and you've kind of done it already. Now that you've been leading the team in carries and are one of the at least one of the couple of running back by committee members of that team. So just talk about these first few games and how you've continuously worked hard, the weight room at practices to quickly become one of the go-to running backs in this Bulldog team.
Like I said previously, you just got to continue to work. Then once you keep working, then it'll show in the field. And once you show in the field, they continue to give more opportunities. And then you just got to take advantage of it.
All right, ask him another question, Wes, because I almost have this video ready.
Kacy, just have you been following any of this Beaufort team so far in the 2023 season? It's a heck of a group. Certainly, they miss having you and Colton out there, but they've really found something with Jaden Andrews this year, who has been electric these last few games for the Eagles. Just what have you seen from him throughout your career at Beaufort, and tell me about what you're most excited for him leading the backfield and continuing to contribute to this team.
I like the way Jaden is actually running the ball. I've seen a couple games, and that they played Maryville recently, and the score at halftime was 2-0. So I went down there, gave them a little pep talk, and then they came out with the W. But I like the way that Jaden's running the ball. He runs behind his pads. He runs. I say he runs very strong. You can see the weight room is affecting him heavy. So I just hope that he continues to just do what he do, and I hope that the team can make it back to the state championship and get another one.
About the way that defense is playing with Will Cotting out there, a linebacker, and a really stout defensive line, a couple of guys stepping up. You certainly know all about how Bryce Libran can coach up his defense, and I think they're really finding a new level this year compared to what we saw, and just keeping what we saw last year, and maybe even turn up even more.
The defense, I like the way our defense is set up. I believe that Coach Grau is one of the best defensive coordinators in South Carolina, and I'm always gonna stand on that. So I'll always give him his props. But our linebackers, I really love our linebackers. They fill the gaps well. They cover well, do everything that they're supposed to do. So I can't really complain about it.
Yeah, Andrews is starting to look a little bit like you, man. He's running like you all of a sudden. But no, I got the Selly here. Here we go. There's his first career touchdown, and we kicking the door down. Kick it down.
Nice.
Kick it down. Let him in.
I love the enthusiasm.
I love it. I'm gonna watch it.
It's a big moment. Getting your first touch in your college career.
Georgia Tech. Tech. ACC.
At a big, big name Power 5 school like that, man, that's got to be extra special to do it over there compared to school.
Yeah, that felt good. That felt good. I know that felt good. Smile on your face all night.
Yeah, the whole night.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate you. Everything's going good with classes and everything. We're taking care of business up there.
Yes, sir. You know it.
And all the Lowco guys are looking out for each other, making sure everybody stays on point.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good to hear, man. Well, we appreciate you. It sounds like you're trying to get some dinner in and get ready for some homework or whatever. But we'll let you get to it, man. But we appreciate you catching up with us, and we just wanted you to know that we're paying attention. We see you working up there.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're proud of you, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
All right, good stuff with Kacy. I know he's busy, so it was awesome that he was able to jump in with us tonight on short notice. Saw him doing big things. Wanted to catch up with him. Trying to catch up with Irv Mulligan too. Trying to get in touch with him because he is blowing it up. Did you see what he did this weekend? I'm trying to look it up, but dude, he's doing it every week right now. And he had another monster game. And Jaheim Hazel's starting at corner too, although he's hurt right now. I think he missed the last game. But Irv Mulligan is just absolutely killing it while we're talking about guys who are balling out. So Herbs rushed for 496 yards through 5 games, averaging 5.8 per carry with 5 touchdowns. He's averaging 99.2 yards per game, by far the leading rusher on the team. And I'm starting to think like Herbs got a shot to play in the league because like he's 5'10", 205, and he's starting to show a little breakaway speed from some, guys at a decent level of football here. And a workhorse, he carries it every week. You can see him maybe even as like a H-back type of guy. So I don't know. I like Herb's prospects. He's a baller. He's a dog.
Yeah. I mean, that level of commitment that shows, and we've seen so many guys, from some of these smaller tier schools make it in the league, and especially at running back, where you have that chip on your shoulder when you're playing at that school, and to do it against some solid competition, as you mentioned, to have that speed to break away from the defense on a consistent basis, and just be able to hit the hole hard, notice that hole, and then just burst through it and find a way to pick up positive yardage on a consistent basis. He looks the parts of that kind of guy. So I think he's on a good track record so far, and certainly that would be huge. Continuing to blaze a trail from the Lowco to get to the league. I think he's got a real shot. So that's exciting, and I think Jalen Snead has a great shot as well, and making a big play happen on 4th down on the biggest lights on Saturday night, tipping the pass. Fortunately, Ohio State coming away with the dramatic victory, but I think these Notre Dame fans have got to be excited about what they're seeing and Jalen Snead just to compete out there, not playing maybe a ton of snaps because there's a bunch of guys in front on the depth chart, but he's certainly climbing up that list when you see him make such an impact play. And what a high IQ play it was to get himself in position where that pass was thrown and tip it away on a 4th down, which really gave Notre Dame all the momentum, getting that stop right near the goal line. So, I mean, just a high IQ play, and he's that kind of player. He doesn't just win with physicality. He's smart. He knows where to be at a certain point of the game, and just has that extra spidey sense, I guess you could say. Who he's gonna make that play when his team needs to. So, what a great performance from Jalen Snead, and proving himself in limited action. That's what you got to do to make your name known, make yourself known. Also, I heard rumors that there is a larger-than-life version of Jalen Snead outside the stadium or something.
Really?
Yeah, I have to look that up. They just the advertising, they put big-time pics of posters of these players, and I think there was a larger-than-life version of Jalen Snead out there.
Well, how about that? I'm trying to get this video queued up for you because it is a great play. It's a very, very great play, and you brought it to my attention because I was watching the Mizzou game in the hotel, and you just texted me Jalen Snead ! And I'm like, what did he do? I'm not watching. So then I had to go to Twitter and find it, but it's pretty nice. Big 4th and goal play.
McCord surveys, tipped up, incomplete. Notre Dame with a stand.
The impressive thing, as you mentioned, let's mute this. As you mentioned, the impressive thing is that this is an RPO situation. And he's getting blocked right there. And then he's able to recognize that it's just turned into a pass play and gets off that block right there and is able to cover the ground and just get enough on that thing. I mean,
those are the kinds of plays that make
huge play.
Yeah, that gets the attention
of the
coaching staff when you do it on 4th down like that and just display the extra effort. So he certainly was started a little slow last year, but when he got the opportunity, especially late in that bowl game, I think he played a good amount of minutes. He is going to take off, I think, and be a big time prospect. Especially
as BJ Payne explained to me, he had to learn like the most complicated defensive position in like any scheme in NCAA football almost. Like it's a super complicated position because they basically have to know all the responsibilities for like the safety position and multiple linebacker positions. So I mean, it's really a lot, and it was a big learning curve. But he navigated it very well to be ready to contribute at the end of last season, and he's going to be. I mean, you can see right there the IQ, the instincts. That he had good instincts in high school, but I'm sure they weren't on the level that they're on now. And he wants to have NFL caliber instincts, and that's what it takes. Because there's lots of guys who have the physical attributes, but who has the instincts in the moment when the lights are on and the stakes are high, to stay within themselves and make the play that they've been trained to make. So he's on a great track. It's impressive. Good stuff. All right, back to our show. Let's get to some more sponsors, Wes, real quick. With the varsity sponsors, we got DDS Web Design, my friends Dave and Denise Sinkovich, Yenzers from Pittsburgh, down here in the Low Country full-time now and loving life. And they would love to help you build a website for your business or organization that will help get you found online and get you results. So call on DDS Web Design, DDSHHI.com if you need a website that will get you found online and produce results. And then if you need legal help, especially out in Jasper, Colleton, and Hampton counties, call on the Parker Law Group. Our new friends out there have been serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years, and now they've jumped on board as varsity sponsors to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on deserving teams and student athletes, which we continue to do and will continue to do now a little bit, because we're going to talk a little bit of high school football, some Week 5 takeaways. And although it was a tough night for the Canes, first loss in Hampton County Hurricanes history, Patrick Henry still undefeated, had to rally. And as our friend Stricklander told us on Friday night on Pigskin Live, Jackson Wiggins was the interim coach. I learned today that Mr. Wiggins is a spry 23 years old, and they are wondering whether he might be the youngest head coach in South Carolina to win a game.
Wow, that is that's gotta be close, or if not the youngest at age 23. That's pretty amazing.
Very impressive.
To step
we
in
send our best to Coach Joe Gray. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, excelling at that level at such a young age, it's going to put yourself in a great spot, and just to get the team when you're a young kid, fresh out of college like that. I mean, it's hard to gain the trust of the guys in the locker room sometimes, but he did a great job at getting them to continue to buy into what their coach was preaching, and to have that just ability and readiness to meet the moment like that. That's something special when you're that young. It doesn't come to you easy all the time. So props to him, and that's a heck of a start to could be a career down the road if he decides
no doubt.
to that path going forward. So congrats.
In other news from the farms, the frogs have migrated to the football field. So the frog migration has made its way to the football field. Patrick Henry, I'm not sure what to make of that, but things are never dull out of Patrick Henry.
Are you buying a potential skis a triple header for the state championship? Because I think he'll need
I think I am, because I'm definitely sold on Christian Academy at this point. I'm still sold on BA. I think Friday was more about HHCA than it was about BA. Yeah. And I'm sold on not only Patrick Henry, but also Thomas Hayward. I think there's a very good chance we see them play each other in the championship.
4 teams.
Yeah, or more. You know, I mean, it's not.
You never know.
It's not inconceivable. Like Carlton Prep might sneak in there. They're pretty tough. Don't sleep on them now. They're tough, man. They've been playing shorthanded, and they just keep doing it.
Cole Davis is a dude. He can throw it. He can ball.
Yeah.
So,
and that defense. We got skis on lockdown down here.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a fun next month ahead. We get into region play and then go full throttle with the playoffs, and could see a lot of teams back where we started the season. Over there at Charleston. It doesn't seem too long ago though.
It seems so short ago. Like warp speed, dude. Warp speed. I can't hardly handle it. What are you looking forward to this week? Where are you going this week?
I think
we shouldn't worry about that yet. We should talk more about takeaways, but
I think all eyes will be on one spot this coming week. I looked at the schedule and yeah, it's a matchup that I think we all circled months ago, and it's going to be a battle of quarterbacks who know each other very well.
Yes,
I'm talking about Hilton Head and Bluffton.
Hilton Head and Bluffton, but I would also say there's a lot of other good games on the schedule.
Yeah.
Beaufort at Phillips Simmons is tasty.
Yes,
tasty.
Region championship game.
That one's really good. Daytona 500 of Region 8 3A opening with the region championship game. I think that the Hampton and Ridgeland is interesting. I have a feeling I might end up there. I assume you're going to Bluffton.
Yeah.
When HHI will be there, right? So I might go to Hampton Ridgeland. I'm into that one. Yeah, May River Lucy Beckham is interesting to me as well.
Yeah.
I like
that's
that
an interesting
one.
opener. I think May River shows they can play defense against most of these teams, especially teams better than what we've seen in 7-4A. So if they can keep that level of intensity up on the road, which we've seen, they play a great road game, and they nearly got King. They was 7-0, and they nearly.
That's 7. Yeah, man, 1 yard away. That I can't figure out what to make of it, but I think it's good. Like, it's all good for May River. The fact that that's really good on defense. Lucy Beckham, have they allowed a point yet? Like, hardly any. So that one could be over by like 8:45. 8:45, 3-0. But no, that's an interesting matchup. That kind of, if May River wins that, then it gets real interesting real fast. That's about it. Whale Branch will roll on the road. Yeah, Hayward should take care of that.
Yeah.
Patrick Henry should be fine. Yeah, we got some.
Hilton Head
Prep will fight Florence Christian, but I don't think
I might catch that one because it should be into the afternoon. The afternoon delight from Sea Pines.
HACO will work First Baptist. But looking back on week 5, some takeaways from that. Whale Branches, who we thought they were, KJ 161 and 2 touchdowns, Darrell 87 and a touchdown on 9 carries, Bradford 101 and a touchdown on 5 carries with 8 tackles and 3 sacks. Good night. That's crazy.
And look at all these other dudes that we see on the defensive side. Jermon Bowers, pick 6. Devon Evans over Stukin score. And the work.
The freshman, Raheem Saunders with 2 sacks. It's Dayon with 2 INTs.
It's not just those 1, 2, 3 guys. This entire team is just. They are playing with some swagger right now.
And not on this list are the 5 guys up front who make it all go. I mean, Tots and Ivion and I don't even know all 5 of their names, but those 5 guys up front with the big numbers, they're the ones who make it happen. And Daryl Cummings knows it. Did you see that play the other night? I think I got it here. Where
46 for 456, averaging almost 10 yards per carry across all running backs.
The whole team as a team. But if you think these guys don't understand who makes it happen, let me find you this clip that our friend Dwight sent me. He sends me all the best clips. Dwight's like our number 1 fan, I think. But peep this stuff. This is so good. Watch Darrell. He gone. Oh God, did you see 74 Tots? Did you see? Is that Tots? Now watch this. He pitches it to him. Lets him have it. Let's go.
You talk about being a team player like that. I mean, these guys play for each other, and that's a special trait to have as a team, especially these seniors. I mean, they all love each other. I mean, it's just these guys have that extra sense of bonding and just love for each other in the field. And I think there's something we said
about that. DJ. That was DJ who got that one. Dontre Lewis, DJ Lewis, former JP2.
And they all senior year for a lot of these big time veterans of this team, and they understand and they've been through some of the pain of losing early in the playoffs. They want to put it all together this year, and some of these younger guys, the supporting cast has done some great things as well. It's a really
But look at DJ earned it. Look at that. Oh, pancake.
Oh,
man, that was a monster shot. Did you see it? Let's watch that
man.
again. Watch DJ 74. Watch him kill this guy. Oh,
wow.
Son. So then Daryl's like, hey, one good turn deserves another. Here you go, bud.
Hey, yeah, he deserves it. Well-earned touchdown. And I love the celebration at the end, too. Big man touchdowns, there's something special about that. Never happens.
So great. So great. Oh, man. But, oh, boy, if they'd have fumbled that ball, Hatcher would have blown a gasket. He would have lost his dang mind. What are you doing? Yeah, he'd have been mad. Other takeaways from week 5, the Beaufort Bluffton game was weird. 42-36.
If you take away the last couple of scores in that game where Beaufort played its B team defensively, it was really impressive from the Eagles to get ready for Phillip Simmons. Jaden Andrews has become the workhorse and an absolute stud in the backfield for this Eagles squad. 5 touchdowns, one from 66 yards out. And, Samari Bonds, always explosive on the ground, but, it's been a different identity. The run game has really been the main story these last weeks for Beaufort. And then the hungry defense, they're going to get a good test against KJ Asbury and those Iron Horses. So that is going to be one heck of a game. But I think this Beaufort team's peaking at the right time. I think they're really starting to understand their identity, what they do well. And, it's ground and pound and then just play lights out D. And it's been working so far, but, this one is going to be an absolute dogfight and could have that NASCAR-like mentality with 2 teams with that have some electric playmakers on the ground.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's the first touchdown from Brandon Bryant, who had what we're being told is a Beaufort County record, 334 receiving yards on 15 catches and 4 touchdowns. But not most, maybe most, I don't know. 3 of the touchdowns came, in the second half, in the fourth quarter against the backup defense. But you're going to see them. And that Scooter Odom, by the way, goodness, Jamin Odom is
they've got a bunch of guys on the outside that are dangerous. They can take to the house at will with that kind of athleticism.
I like Andrews. I like Andrews and the Wildcat on the goal line. It's nice. And then I love the aggressive play here on the onside kick. Look at him getting down on the coverage, bringing it. So Bluffton gets on them 7-0, and then Beaufort just pours it on. Very next play, Andrews is gone, looking very Kacy Fields-esque. Very Kacy. This is Beaufort's own footage, by the way. Back on the air, thank goodness. Beaufort's
look at Samari.
Yeah, Samari. Now look at Amari. Oh, yeah. We're gonna go back and see it again.
Oh, we gotta see that again.
It's too good. Look at this. Oh, he caught
multiple offenders.
Now, that's a freshman. That's why he's got an offer from Mexico State. And now watch him on the next one. Samari tip drill to himself, threads the needle to Amari.
And this is huge.
This is textbook.
Really unlock so much more for this Beaufort offense. Following the blockers, get the touchdown. This is very encouraging.
Finds Carnell.
Great pass right there.
I don't know how Carnell got that open, but he did. And then Jaden
Andrews
does it again.
Hard-working.
He's got one more in him. He actually had one called back from like 65 yards right before that Samari to Amari.
Great block.
And then this one makes it 42-14. Oh my gosh.
Balance, stay on his feet, the strength, and just will himself to that pylon. Wow, that is a big boy run right there. That is
yeah. And then Aiden McCarthy comes in against the backup defense and gets Brandon Bryant happy. Like it's just Aiden and McCarthy and Brandon Bryant out there doing their thing.
And just throw it up there.
He just missed him in the end zone on the play before this. And so this time he's like, I'll just do the easy pitch and catch and let you do the rest.
This one got a little interesting.
Because then this happened. Uh-oh. So now you're down. It's a 2-touchdown game, and then they get the onside, and you're like, oh, no. And then it's more McCarthy to Brandon Bryant. Oh. Now that is I
Oh,
mean, is this the first string? The first string might have been back in now because it's 2 touchdown game. Not sure, but that's impressive. But yeah, they're not going to get it
Eagles.
again. Is that Amari? I think that's Amari who picks it up and just takes off with it. Yeah, that's Amari. That's a freshman. That's pretty good. Then you had Whale Branch and Battery Creek. Got a few lights. Those guys were looking tough. Damian Freeman got back in there, and Battery Creek had a 12-0 lead in this game, which was stunning.
Well, I mean, it's a rivalry game. You expect
yeah,
them
man.
to be the best. That's what you love to see.
Bradford Thompson.
Oh,
that one was
big
fun.
number 44.
And then a little Zoe. Oh,
Zoe, what a tackle! That was.
I don't know. Zoe better be wrestling this year because that was a great double leg. That was a great double leg. He's got a nice
KJ.
That
KJ Chisholm. Whoa! Outworking that defender into the end zone. Toughness.
Yeah, I don't think he got in the end zone on that one, but I think it was like the 20.
Just shy, but then nice gain nonetheless, and it's punched in.
But then Daryl did. Daryl got it in there.
Daryl Cummings.
He hits the whole
T
hard.
for Whale Branch. Oh,
here we got HHCA. I don't have a ton of highlights. I only have first half highlights, but they're fun nonetheless.
Yeah. Dylan Clark, starting off on the ground, but I really like the way that he propelled this offense. Ooh, bad snap, safety into the end zone. It goes. Tough one there. Beaufort Academy, you just wish they could have started off a little bit better. But Hilton Christian Academy, the offense was just a little too much. Dylan Clark. He goes down for a BA safety. So
I hope Devontae's leg is okay, man.
Yeah, that's a big impactful potential.
That was a dime. That was a dime.
Right to veteran number 15. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing.
This is impressive. Baby Dev. Oh. I thought this was for sure a touchdown when I first watched it, and I watched it a few more times, and it was a perfect call by the ref. He was down at the 1. It was perfect.
Yep.
But the Eagles win it. Oh, that's me. We don't need to see that part.
Yeah, I mean, Hilton Christian Academy making a statement, but I thought BA handled itself pretty well, fighting back in that first half. You just hope for the best with Devontae Green because he is so, especially you mentioned the blocking, just how the chemistry, how well he works together with Porter and the rest of that run game. It's going to be a big loss to potentially not be without a guy who's just so integral in several different parts of the offense and on defense as well, where unfortunately it looked like where he left the game when he was making impacts on that side of the ball too. So it hurts you in more ways than one, fortunately, and you hope that it's not as serious as you initially think, and he'll get back out there because that's such an integral piece to the success of this BA team, having both that two-head monster out there in Greenport. So hope the best for him, but I like what I saw, the compete from Dietrich Schuford in that BA offense. But Hilton Christian Academy, we did not mention some of those defensive guys, but Bradley Anderson with a tremendous game. Tucker Tivapal almost had a pick as well, had one right off his hands, but he was really effective in pass coverage and made a terrific punt inside the 20. And then, Zane Wilson had a monster game.
He's a monster.
Reed McCollum, Reed, as they say over there at HHCA, featured quarterback potentially of that group, and had a pick as well.
I don't think there's any potentially about it. I think he's the guy next year. He's
already proven it. He's already proven it. Some action. So
it
looks like
a couple notes here. Joy points out to us that no, it was not the first string defense that was scored on in the second half. So strike that. We were wondering aloud, and now we know the answer. Thank you, Joy. And Dwight pointing out Whale Branch answered the question of how they respond from being behind for an entire quarter. Indeed, they did. Battery Creek goes up 12-0. And Ridgeland, QB change after an injury and rolls on the road. I had not seen the stats yet, but they are now posted. Devin Fields stepped in. Mo Brown out. Fields goes 4 for 9 for 140 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, 2 for 10 and a touchdown on the ground. So nice night for him. He hit Jacquees Johnson for 2 TDs. Wesley Jones had a touchdown catch. Winston Smith had a nice night on the ground. So
You think
Lots of guys contributing there.
you think there's a chance this coming week?
I do. I mean,
hosting
it's high school
the
football,
Kings?
man.
Yeah.
There's always a chance, but I think they're going to have a hard time stopping Zion.
Yeah, that's the
But I think, I think they're capable of scoring some points. That Hampton County defense is awfully good, though. I think Hampton's definitely the better team, but Ridgeland's at home. They are a confident group. They're coming off another win, even without their leader, their quarterback, so who's also a key player on defense. And so, I don't discount it. I really don't. It's, looking at Hampton's schedule, I know that Rob is worried about them. I know that he knows you can't take any games off in this region, and they're coming off a loss. So you get to see how they respond. Next week the Estill guys play their formal coaches.
Easy to look
and then
at.
you got Woodland and Barnwell. It's just really easy to overlook it, and they're kids. So yeah, there's a chance. I mean, do I think it's a great chance? No, but I think there's a chance, and that's probably why I'll show up out in Ridgeland on Friday, just in case, because there's always a chance. And if it's a Donnybrook, I want to be there and see what happens.
Yeah.
So no question, there's a chance. What else? What else from last week? I guess we pretty well covered it. Carlton Prep took care of business on the road. Caleb Davis had a big game. Patrick Henry again. We talked about them. Thomas Hayward again. I haven't seen their stats yet either. They weren't up earlier when I had a chance to look, but I'm sure it was a lot of Tony. And man, I think McGeary has hit all the right notes. That team doesn't have any business being as good as they are this year, but that coaching staff is doing a heck of a job. Tyree Simmons is he's a transformational leader type guy. He's going to be a dynamic head coach.
And it really all starts with O'Banner. He needs to stay on the field. He needs to stay healthy. And if he stays as being that best player on the field, watch out. I mean, this group still has a couple of core defensive players from those state title runs a couple of years back. Watch out. If everything.
Well, and they're gonna get, they get Dillon this week, which I think Dillon is a little down. So yeah, 1-5. They should be able to take care of business at home. And then they get a murderer's row. They get Hilton Head Christian at home, Beaufort Academy at home, at Pinewood, at Patrick Henry. So if they can get through those three games healthy, then that Patrick Henry game is going to be a great game. But if they come through those three banged up, then it's going to be tough.
And I think, you decide to be maybe more conservative and against these teams where obviously you're playing up, you're playing against tougher competition. You don't mean as much. You want to play well, but you don't expect to win all those games. Do you maybe try to play it to the vest a little bit and try out a couple different? So it's interesting to see what the coaching staff will do. But yeah, I think you got to focus on a Patrick Henry game while improving yourself to be at your best when that game comes. So that's a challenge for that coaching staff. See how they approach it. But this is a group that's going to sneak up on some teams potentially in 1A.
Yeah, well, I mean, can they really sneak up on people? Like, they've been in the championship game like 11 billion years in a row. I don't think they're sneaking up on anybody, but I just think that people are a little bit surprised that they are what they are, because it looked like a real down year, and it's not. It's not. They're pretty much where they were last year for the most part. So big credit to those guys, because they lost a lot of key pieces. Let's shout out our Lowco Booster Club sponsors real quick. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfair Town Village, and like I said last week, they're doing bigger numbers at their opening than any location in the country of Prime IV. So shout out to Bluffton and the community. I guess we were dehydrated. We needed some saline bags. So go get your IV drips, sit in the massage chairs, and tell them Lowco sent you. And if you also need to get cracked up, which I need to, my neck and shoulders are all messed up, coaching baseball, being on the road, hotels, all that stuff. I'm going to go see my guy Ambrose, and maybe you need to too, at Rooted Living Wellness. He will get your roots, your nervous system, back in a good way, and help you get your body feeling right. He'll help work out any problems that you have and try to find the source of those mechanical problems so that you can find a mechanical solution at Rooted Living Wellness. And then we've got Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, Chris Odom, getting everything clean for you, from the floors to the ceilings to the upholstery to the carpet to the shower, you name it. But most of all, the floors. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, floors so clean your feet will thank you. Thank you. And Eagle Creations, they provide full-scale promotional items, and you can get your business cards there. You get your awards, your trophies, your apparel. If you need some polos and hats for your business, whatever you need, go see them over on Argent Boulevard. Check out their expansive showroom. They got a lot of cool stuff in there, and see what all they can do for you and your business. And then the Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court, are friends who are Low Country natives selling the Lowco lifestyle on HHI. And you can catch Daniel in about every local play, as well as you can catch him on WHHI doing the games with our friend Marcus Walsh, who I'm sure we'll be talking to again on Friday. Should be a good time. But Wes, one thing left to do before we wrap this thing up, and that's to name our teams of the week. So who are you going with? Who's shouting out?
This is a tough one. I mean, I think I'm going to go with football here. A couple of teams I could pick from, but I'm going to go with those Whale Branch Warriors, who are rolling so far. I can't do as good of a Jerry Hatcher impression as you. I can try, but I cannot get to that level. But I will shout out this Whale Branch team because, kind of going behind early in a rivalry game and having to come up off the mat. We kind of saw that very similar script when I was over in Ridgeland. Very, strangely, all of a sudden you're down. How do you get off the mat and respond? And, it's that run game, it's stellar blocking, 456 rushing yards, 46 carries, offensive line doing some work. And then that defense, it's a terrific 11-man deep unit and probably more guys that off the bench you can fill in as well. But, you can name down the list. Alonzo Allen, Bradford Thompson, Jermon Bowers, Davon Evans, the list goes on of guys who made impacts. Dayon Brown with 2 picks. My God.
Yeah.
That defense was
Mama was pumped. Did you see all them people decked out in those shirts? They were so fired up for Dayon to get 2 picks.
But, to go in a road environment, come from behind a rivalry game, these guys just have that extra will, the extra fight. And I think this team looks different than these past Whale Branch teams that kind of came up short. I'm buying this group. I think it's, as I said, a team of, upperclassmen seniors that just have that extra drive in them this year to get it done. And, they know that. That's why they're KJ Chisholm. He's playing both ways. These guys are putting the work in on both sides of the ball to make sure that they're ready to compete. And, I think this team is a good shot to do it in a 1A classification that seems fairly wide open this year.
Yeah, a great choice. I'm going to go in a completely different direction. I'm going to go with a girls golf team that did not win their local meet this week. They came in second with a score of 236. Hilton Head Prep won with a 191 because Bridget Wilkie shot 2 under par 34 because she's crazy good and going to go play somewhere really good. But JP2 shot 236, and this is their first season playing high school girls golf. They've had a boys team, but they haven't had a girls team. So shout out to Coach Mark Waninger, who also coaches the boys. He and Tony Peace took on the girls program this year, and they were able to get a team out there. And in fact, 2 girls have qualified for the state tournament. Sophie Hannigan and Sydney Folscroft will be the first JP2 players to compete in the girls state tournament, in the Skeeza state tournament. So Sophie Hannigan shot 48, Sydney Folscroft shot 51 in the most recent match at Colleton River Die Course. So little shout out to JP2 girls golf, trailblazers.
Awesome.
Trailblazers.
Yeah,
love it.
Setting a great example. First year and competing with some of the best Skeeza squads right behind Hilton Head Prep. That's an excellent job by these girls. As you mentioned, trailblazers, putting that path out for so many young golfers to come around here in the Lowco. And, it's great to see more schools adapting, a sport that, of course, is such a rich history around here. And we've talked about a lot. And we actually have a big girls high school golf tournament coming up, I believe, at the end of the week with, Rosie Jones setting it up. So congratulations, JP2. What a way to start your program. And Yeah, I'm excited for this week. Big week for golf. We got the Ryder Cup going on, which is always fun to watch, see how that unfolds. And then right here at home, we got a big golf tournament as well.
Yeah, as you mentioned, September 30th and October 1st, which I believe is Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, right? Gonna have 72 players, 15 teams and 12 individuals playing at Moss Creek. Rosie Jones, LPGA legend, is the host for this thing, and she's awesome. She's just a vibrant personality and really invested in helping these girls take their game to the next level. So Bridget Wilkie, who we mentioned from Hilton Head Prep, will be in the mix, along with all kinds of really talented young women playing in this tournament, as well as May River, which has a couple of really strong players in Claire Green and Robin Zatror. Hilton Head will be in it, so you've got Lexi Milbrandt, who's terrific. Catherine Gavin's having a great season. So I'm hoping I can get out there because I'll be around in town this weekend. I'll be coaching some ball, but I'll be around. So would love to get out and check that out. I love getting out on the golf course. Moss Creek's a pretty place. It's just peaceful out there.
Yeah,
it's just so peaceful out there. Fox squirrels too. Any place with fox squirrels and marsh.
Yeah, I normally see at least a couple of nature shots alongside the golf when you go in there.
Oh yeah, always. I always get some nature shots over there, some landscapes. I'm always about that. I can't resist the nature shots on the golf course. That's my favorite part. Just being out there because you have downtime in between shots. You're waiting for the players to come and you're just chilling. And I'm super ADHD, so I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, there's a squirrel. I'm gonna take a picture of him. But yeah, I love it out there, and should be great weather this weekend. So
yeah.
Another great week of Lowco sports coming up, and we are up on it. State tournament for Skiza is coming up October 2nd and 3rd. So they turn around. Bridget's going, she's going back to back Saturday, Sunday at Moss Creek, and then she's going Monday, Tuesday at State. And I would expect she's probably the one to beat. So we'll definitely have to go catch up with her this weekend out there and talk to her about the upcoming state tournament, because I'm sure she's got her sights set on gold once again. So that should do it for this episode, folks. Appreciate you coming along on the journey with Wes and I. Many thanks to Kacy Fields for staying in touch and jumping on with us tonight. Very proud of that young man and how far he's come in a very short time. Because a year ago, his college football future was kind of up in the air, and now he's top of the depth chart at SC State. And with the transfer portal being what it is these days, who knows where he ends up. So great to talk with Kacy, and he's an outstanding young man repping the Lowco. Thanks to all of you who showed up to listen. Thanks to our sponsors. And until next time, let's go Lowco. What do you say?
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.